He's also going to be the one that's going to talk about Diablo for us.
You sound like a handsome man yourself.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm so ready for Dane to geek out again. Let's
go. All right, Dane. So I'll just give him the headline for the article first. It says, Diablo Immortal's microtransactions have made it $24 million in 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay, so this one isn't going to be as much of a geek out as an open conversation. So Diablo is like the old school game where like, hello, my name is X and I play Diablo. And like people like legitimately that play this game would play like 12 hours straight every day. Why did they play that much, Dane? I'm glad you asked. So Diablo was a game where like items, really good items, were famously hard to get because you'd get them by essentially defeating the same enemy over and over again, and the probability that it would drop the item you wanted was like fractions of a percentage.
Yeah.
But if then you were like the stud who had the sword of whatever, then you were the stud that had the sword of whatever. And so Diablo 1 and 2 were like very much like that. And then came Diablo 3, and they kind of acknowledged that the game had like a underground economy where people would sell accounts with incredibly rare weapons.
Is that where like the idea for Microtransactions? I mean, I'm not the idea, but it's
no.
But that's a concept that makes sense.
That's like the black market that developed amongst gamers. And there's a genre of video games that's called MMORPG, massively multiplayer online role-playing games.
Yep.
I know, ladies.
How do you guys know that?
I know, ladies in the audience,
don't
please
run,
keep up with me.
They're just hot and bothered right now.
I know, we're going to talk about money, okay? Listen up, it's going to get good.
All right.
I know. Stick with me, darling.
Do this.
So the thing is, so people would legitimately spend thousands upon thousands of dollars for this fake internet sword. And then the third game came, and you could basically sell with in-game currency that you could buy more of. You could sell these weapons, and there was like a stock market. Now, they've pretty much cut out the middleman, and it's like, hey, you know, we're making like a bunch of different packages where you can pay to win, which is like the concept. And despite this being a game where the culture was like, I'm going to grind forever because why wouldn't I, and get my rare items, but people are like, F that, I got money.
I have never progressed out of the idea that you just, when you pay $60 for a game, $55, $60, $70 for a game, that you don't get the full game in that price.
Oh, Brett.
Listen,
it does seem like a total scam.
It is I think this is like not, I mean, it's an egregious case because like for sure.
Just infinite pay pigs.
No, but this
forever.
is like.
Excellent use of pay pigs. You don't hear that very much on
you
regular
can grind
podcasts.
for 3 months or, you know, give me $10 and we're solid. Wink, wink. And so like that's a pretty good deal. But there's some companies like Electronic Arts, which is literally the most hated company in the world. Like literally has the worst audience score of all time. And they have these things that they've popularized. Sorry, everyone, I'm Latinx. The things they call loot boxes, where like you buy it and you get random items, and you just spend $50 and you didn't get what you want.
Basically gambling.
Basically
gambling.
And like,
I know like some YouTubers have even gotten in trouble for promoting these loot boxes because they're promoting gambling to actual children.
To children.
Legitimately that. I had a friend that played the FIFA game, and I thought that you know you bought the game and you came with the players, and it's like, no, daddy-o. Like you have to buy like
thank you
a soccer player and like the year they were good, and I was like, bro, what? It's like a stock market for like soccer players? Absolutely. Yep. And when it gets to that point, I think it's super dumb. Well, so yeah, that's the conversation. Like, where do you guys see this trend going?
I think it's hilarious to me because the whole concept of video games was to like grow skill level, and like obviously I'm coming from it from an old school video game perspective. Yeah. Like I can't imagine playing Contra or Ninja Gaiden and like the ability to like buy something to help make the game easier for it, because video games on those old systems were literally so freaking difficult that the whole point was that it was very, very. I mean, I asked my dad recently on Father's Day. I talked to him. I was like, "Hey, so think you could mail me any of my old video games?" I broke down and I asked him. I was like, because I was like, I got an urge to play Castlevania, the original Castlevania.
Oh, no. That game rules.
And he's like, yes, but now I feel bad like having him mail out there. I can't imagine being able to buy my way through Castlevania or buy my way through Double Dragon.
I mean, most games aren't like that. Like the way that most games get you now in terms of money is that, hey, so you get the full game, but we got these extra chapters that you get once you beat the game, and you got to pay $15 extra.
Do you think that this might be because the new generation of gamers is like zero attention span, all about instant gratification?
Dane?
I think truly it's, by the way, sorry, it's just, I'm doing
He's
my work.
working here.
I think truly it's because game development is like way too expensive. Like, because now every video game has to look like a S tier title for people to like even give a damn.
Is it also partially because in most of those transactions are like aesthetic stuff?
Dude, I think so. The aesthetic stuff is the things I vibe with. For like, for example, I play a lot of fighting games, and you know, I get tired of looking at Chun-Li look the same way. And it's like, I pick color purple because I like the color purple. And if someone picks my color, I'm furious. Like, that's the color I want to pick. So if I could get like a different outfit with the same color, I'm like, okay, well, I can easily identify that that's my character, right?
Because no more Laura Bailey voicing Chun-Li.
Okay.
Thank God I hated her voice.
That, it would be like women who are more interested in like curating the aesthetics
maybe
in games,
you know,
like getting all the skins and everything.
I dated a girl that played League of Legends, and like that's what she do. She like dress up all her gals.
Okay, I know nothing about video games, so like obviously I got questions. Why is EA hated?
Because of the,
and what are its competitors that aren't as hated?
I mean, the competitors that are not as hated is pretty much every other video game company. But, like, they're hated because, the loot box thing, which is, like, very pernicious. They basically...
How is that legal? Like, I don't understand how that's legal when they're literally, like, 12-year-olds.
They've tried to regulate in other states.
And I think, like, they're famously known for, like, their incredibly, like, inhospitable work hours as well. I mean, there's a lot of companies that are known for that, but I think like they were the first, and they've just like, they're famous for making the same game over and over and over again, and then saying like, it's today's version of the game and it's buggy and it doesn't work. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but like ultimately, I think the loot boxes, like it's a scam. Like, I'm telling you, people are paying like $1,000. And not getting what they want.
Basically, I don't want to get hated for saying this, but like, isn't that basically just NFTs?
No, because with NFT, like NFTs, you're paying resell for what you're gonna get. It's like, if I'm gonna get an NFT of, you know, Mary doing like kawaii, whatever. Like, I'm paying for like the picture of you doing kawaii. Here's like, you're paying $500 for the chance
that something good could be in there.
But the NFTs, I feel, are the same way, where you're like buying something for its later on projected value so that you can sell it.
No, but like,
and then buy a new milady.
Yeah, but you know what
you're gonna get. Buying. Here is like, maybe you'll get it.
No, it's just like a total gamble.
Yeah, it's a total gamble.
Honestly, I don't think that many people buying NFTs actually know what they're buying.
I know, right?
They can't explain it very well, so it doesn't seem like it's that different of a situation in my eyes. But I guess I'm ignorant about both. So.
Guys, if you're in chat and you're into NFTs, follow me on Twitter. Like, I'll de-radicalize you. Like, I'll try my best. I'll be very loving. I'll take my time. But like, you need Jesus in your life and a friend.
This is what it was. It was the Belgian Gaming Commission ruled that the implementation of them in games breached multiple gambling laws in the country. That was the story that I was thinking about.
It's literally like children using their dad's credit card on the computer who have no supervision. Like,
so let me explain.
Hella illegal.
Let me try to explain loot boxes in a different way. Okay. Let's say it's an alternate dimension, and this alternate dimension, Mary, likes Marvel movies.
Okay, I'm trying to imagine it.
That is horrifying.
I am
too. Horrifying.
I know. I don't like her. I'm just saying.
I'm like a Marvel soy girl.
Right,
Like,
yeah,
going to the release dates.
Just getting character.
Can't wait to watch Riri Williams, guys.
And then-
yes, queen.
And you're
Slay.
Pray.
and you're
What?
watching, I don't know, Black Panther 15, like Hello Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Good
then
morning, Wakanda.
the movie guy is like, hey, give me $50 and you maybe will see the trailer to the next movie. And you're like, sure, you pay him $50 and then you just see the same movie you just saw. And you're like, hey, I didn't see the trailer. Like, pay me $50 and you'll get another shot. And you just saw, like, you know what I'm saying?
Not gonna lie, I feel like if this was implemented in the real world, some people actually would
Probably.
do that. They would
People
actually, because
are
they sit
losing
there through
thousands.
like 15 credit scenes waiting for the post-credit scenes that don't actually have anything to do with the next story.
That
Baby
you could
girl,
just go
people
and
are
watch
losing
after.
that are
thousands.
just like some stupid one-liner from, I don't even know any of these actors'
Yep.
names, but like they literally do that. They gamble with their own time
I
to watch
think-
these stupid post-credit scenes.
I don't know this for a fact. I just heard it from like by a bro back in the master's degree. By the way, I'm a master, so like I'm basically freaking.
So he's basically a
liberal
genius,
god.
guys.
We defer to him now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
always.
As you
Yeah.
should. And he was like the top tier in the rankings. All pay like $20,000 a year. Could you
What?
imagine $20,000 for a hobby, bro?
No. I
No.
cannot.
Is this
Let's
basically
not.
a pyramid scheme, but for men?
It's
'Cause I see, like,
abuse. It's
the
like
Mary
women
Kay
are,
for men.
Yeah, the women are doing the Mary Kay, the beauty counter, the vitamins, and then men are doing loot boxes.
it's like less
Thank
dignified
you.
gambling.
Thank you.
Less dignified gambling. So it says the U.S. accounted for 26% of all global downloads and 43% of all the previously mentioned revenue. Speaking of revenue, South Korea is in second place with 23%, and Japan takes third with 8%. The impressive numbers, now this is of the $24 million that they made in microtransactions. These impressive numbers, we kind of got off track. We were talking about loot boxes, but not about necessarily microtransactions as a
I mean,
whole.
they get into it now.
Yes, it says these impressive numbers were achieved despite many players being upset about the implementation of Diablo Immortal's microtransactions. Certain players have complained about Immortal's best loot seemingly being very difficult to get without spending a lot of money, and even then, that loot isn't guaranteed. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
In our Diablo Immortal review in progress, we said, I've only just started on my Diablo Immortal journey, but I like what I've played so far. Is this from IG? That's why it's from IGN. And it's from IGN. The combat feels potent and weighty, with plenty of skills options for building out rounded and fun combat approaches. The story moves along at a brisk pace, opening up new zones steadily, with many characters' progression systems ensured that I felt like I was always making progress and growing more powerful. That seems fairly measured in what they said. It says, and with more than 20 hours of microtransaction free gameplay behind me, there's clearly a lot of content to enjoy before you need to consider spending money. So there's very much a lot of game you can try before you buy.
So, like, I mean, this sounds to me like a healthy, well-adjusted person, right? But there's also people like me who are not either, and you know, they're like tryhards, and like they not only wanna beat the game, they wanna beat the game and be like I don't know, like the Rock in the game. You know what I'm saying? They wanna be jacked, and like these people, you know, again, like sometimes it's like 1% like likely drop rate. Sometimes it's fractions of a percent. So it's incredibly unlikely that you'll get the item that you want.
There's a comment here that says the fact that it can take roughly $110,000 to max out a single character is absurd. That's $110,000 per character,
insane.
not a count. That's the reason the Netherlands and Belgium banned microtransactions and loot boxes. The game is banned in those countries because of it. That's a lot, you know?
It's insane.
Monetize.
And by the way, like I used to play card games, you know, where like you would buy a box
Thank
and
you.
it would also be like, hey, you don't know what you're gonna get. But like, in the digital versions of the game, like in order to like kind of like not appease to those sites, they made it so like if you get the whole like digital box, you are guaranteed at least one copy of every card.
Okay.
So it's like it's expensive, but like you will get it.
I suppose at a certain point, would you consider like people that collected Pokemon cards? Is that a form of gambling that you that you buy the card pack? If you're looking
But
for
it
a
does
specific
have
card.
perspective value.
Yeah.
And you are taking a gamble.
It
If
does.
you're looking for a specific card, yeah. Like,
I mean, if you're looking for a specific card, like, you're gambling.
yeah.
But like, if it's like how they're doing it now, that if you buy the case and like you're absolutely gonna get one, then it's not gambling. You're just purchasing.
Yeah. All right, Mary. There's some microtransactions there.
That's what we'll call them now.
Yes. Thank you for microtransactioning.
Joe Duraki, aka Jay Dizzle, said, "Sorry, I'm 20 minutes behind on the show. Lightyear was so meh, utterly forgettable. The kiss was so quick. I would have missed it if it wasn't so overhyped."
The funny thing about that is it makes me think of like what you'll eventually get in when you get these types of scenes is they start with the what do they call it? They call it queer baiting. Like literally where it's like you make it they make it seem like it's going to be a big deal, but then you don't actually see it for that long. Like if they had never mentioned it, most people wouldn't have even thought twice about it. They wouldn't have cared. But they have to make a big deal about it because Hollywood has to make a big deal about everything that they believe is some type of weird virtue signal.
Well, to be fair, the conversation was more so started because they were getting blocked from all these countries.
And remember,
and I think fair enough.
Hollywood is a crackhead addicted to virtue signaling, very much so.
Waffle Sensei said, EA became particularly infamous with the new Battlefront 2. The loot boxes contained actual move sets and abilities that you needed in order to perform well in PvP. Kids had to gamble to play the game.
So this is what. So okay. So let me break that down for like. Thank you, Waffles, my beloved. Let me break that down for like.
Waffles, my beloved. That's what he should change his name to.
Yeah. So PvP means player versus player, and what he's saying is, the best attacks to like compete against your friends were unavailable for free. Thus,
so you had to literally pay for them
for the chance to get them. And then there were these kids that were getting pwned by their like rich friends, and they're like, "Oh, I got skills," and they don't, and like they were getting wrecked.
Bummer.
Javi J said, "As the official treehouse of White Boy Summer, we're at the half-baked treehouse. We at the half-baked treehouse would like to officially recognize the sainthood of Dane as the patron saint of White Boy Summer. YouTube wouldn't let me spell it out for some reason. That's really weird.
Hilarious.
Wouldn't let him spell
White Boy Summer.
What?
Wait, we need some of you to try to super chat us the words White Boy Summer and see if it sends.
It wouldn't let him send White Boy Summer?
Yeah, I think that's why he's...
YouTube is anti-Chet Hanks. Proven.
This is insane.
Dude.
Confirmed.
All the more reason that we need to platform Chet Hanks. Come on the show, Chet. We love you.
Everyone.
You know what my new idea is? I want to take all of Tom Cruise's best movies and remake them with Chet Hanks. I want to see The Green Mile with Chet Hanks.
Guys.
I want to see Toy Story with Chet Hanks, except for he's not playing Woody. He's literally just playing Chet Hanks with Buzz Lightyear next to him. Every Tom Cruise... Forrest Gump, Chet Hanks.
Guys in chat, let me know what you think about not White Boy Summer, about microtransactions, and if there's a lady in chat, tag me because I specifically want to know what you're thinking.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.